Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Xavier Smith, and today I'm going to be talking about acids. So let's get started with finding out, is it an acid? Well, acids, basically, you ask the question, does it start with H? Does it start with hydrogen? There's a few exceptions, and one of them is acetic acid, but we'll get there eventually, and I'm not going to go into depth about it, but you're just going to have to remember it. Okay, so there are two types of acids that we will go over: oxyacids and binary acids. So the names are pretty simple and easy to remember. Oxy is for oxygen. What can you guess these acids have in them? They have oxygen in them. So if an ending is an 8, like sulfate, it will become sulfuric. Well, that's a bad example to start on. Yeah, that's just a bad example. Like nitrate will be nitric. Then ite will go to us. So like chlorite will be chlorus. Perchlorate will be perchloric. Okay, and then binary is hydro, whatever the word is, whatever the element is, ic. All right, so let's get started. HCl would be, there's no oxygen, so it's binary, which we've got the hydro, and then chlorine would be chloric. You just change the ending. So hydrochloric, and then hydrochloric acid. Then HBr would be, this is bromine, so it'd be bromic. So it'd be hydrobromic acid, because no oxygen. And then H2S, doesn't matter that there's two hydrogens. It just matters that there's hydrogen. And since there's no oxygen, we got the hydroic. So hydrogen's done with. Now all we need is a sulfur. And this isn't like sulfic acid. With sulfur and phosphate, it sounds better. Well, sulfur and phosphorus. It sounds better to keep sulfur and phosphor in it. So this will be hydrosulfuric acid. Okay, then HNO3. Well, now we have oxygen. So we know that this hydrogen, all it does is change the ending. Now let's look at what we have. We have NO3. NO3 is nitrate. So this will just turn into nitric acid. So nitric acid. Okay, then H3PO4. Well, the hydrogen, again, all it does is change the ending. So, well, that's for oxyacid. All it does is change the ending. So PO4 is phosphate, which 8 goes to ic. So we are going to say phosphoric acid. What you're gonna, so since phosphate comes from phosphorus, and you keep like the phosphor of phosphorus, you're just going to say phosphoric acid, phosphoric acid, phosphoric. I think I just spelled that wrong. That's, oh, no, wait. Huh. We're gonna not mind that. Okay, and then HClO2. Again, we're just changing the ending here. So ClO2, what is that? Well, that is chlorite, and ite goes to us. So we are going to say this is chlorous acid. Okay, now acetic acid. We are going from the name to the symbols. So acetic comes from acetate. Acetate is CH3COO. What you do when you're saying, you're changing acetic acid into like CH3COO, you're not going to say H3COO. Actually, the way this compound works is the H will come afterwards. So it'll be CH3COOH. But you could also write it with the H in front of it. It's not technically wrong, so you could do that. Then sulfuric acid. Remember, we're going to look at this ick. First, you'd want to look at there's a hydro, but you look at the ick and you're like, okay, that came from 8. Ick equals 8. It goes both ways. So this was from sulfate is what it came from. So we know there's an H, right? We have an H, and then we think, okay, sulfate. What's the charge of sulfate? 2 negative. So there's 2 H's and it's SO4. So H2SO4. Now, hydrochloric acid. Well, that means there's no oxygen here. Now we just have to look at the chloric acid. Well, if you think just like chloride, we'll go to chloric. So what we have is just HCl because we just put in a chlorine. Yeah, we just put in a chlorine. Then perchloric acid. Still, well, now we have an oxy acid, meaning that we do have oxygen here. So the per just comes from like perchlorate, sorry, which is ClO4. So what this is going to do is say HClO4, and the way we know that it's 8 at the end is because ick to 8, and then it's just perchlorate, and it would make sense. I hope this video was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.